think it's a benefit. The oh, it's a question. He gets kicked from the CLS team. Okay. So yeah, interesting. So another concept town. The lightsaber stormtrooper. Hmm. Okay. So tank empire, imperial trooper. Stormtrooper concept arrives at the holo tables as a sturdy imperial trooper tank inspired by Ralph Quarry's legendary artwork for Star Wars: New Hope. Trojans raid Macau with their shield raised and a lightsaber in hand. Something immediately striking about this version of Stormtrooper that feels familiar but not quite like what we know from the classic trilogy. Part of what makes this design so fun. This early concept of the Stormtrooper helped shape later Imperial armor designs across Star Wars, including transitional TK Stormtroopers seen in the Bad Batch. And of course, there's that rip. Those years ago, we made a Storm and Board Stormtrooper. We probably would not have believed you. That is exactly the fantasy. Sorry, get some water here. Concept adds to your collection. On the gameplay side, they give Imperial troopers a stronger defensive footing and a little more room to do troopers do best, take turns, call assists, keep the pressure rolling. Okay, so I guess fair enough to be CLS lifter. Might as well do like a here's lifter. Okay. Deal physical damage, gain defense up. If they're buffed, gain 15% health and protection. So a little, it's a light on things, but it's for an assist heavy team. Yeah. Benefits both from retribution, from range trooper, and alert. Pick up then assist more. But he's not Imperial Remnant. I don't know that you'd use him with Commando. Also makes him a strong candidate for inevitable failure. Logic? Huh. Interesting. Oh, I didn't read that enough. Yeah, if they're buffed, okay. Alright. Special one. Line breaks is a little like. Alright, deal physical damage, target enemies, stun them, and taunt for 2 turns. All Imperial Trooper allies gain protection up 40% for 2 turns and recover protection equal to 25% of his defense. All attacker allies gain advantage for 2 turns. Okay. Alright. So this is the main setup button, sort of like Commando has this big taunt, and then you appear in the other thing. Windbreaker's protection and advantage. Very helpful to keep Black Cannon's protection. And Versio can get more value from the basics recovery. Well, that Dark Trooper can get more screen time. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know what that means. Yeah, and if your squad with Piet, Dark Trooper, and Break House create strong offensive setup. So they're really trying to get him to work with like 90% of Empire squads. Or Trooper squads, I should say. It's interesting, take a lifter from, either or, really. They're both kind of bad, but I still be curious to see what his best use case is. Okay, they might be cooking. They might be cooking on a concept level here. Yeah, military turn with breaking line means putting the enemy defense, disrupting their formation. Yeah. Okay, they're spouting words real hard here. Okay, how's 25% of Stormtrooper concepts defense calculated? Any unit's defense is made up of 2 stats. So already this is like too many words. Right. I don't know. I'm too stupid to understand this, but in my mind, defense is defense. Okay, armor and suppression from line breaker 25% is both of them. That's protection recovery. Okay. Cool. But yeah, since he's a tank, he's probably gonna be defense modded. I mean, he's definitely gonna be defense modded now. Get the protection recovery for it. Then it is impact scaling. It's not start a battle. Yeah. Unique Elderon prison security. Zeta and Omicron. Yeah, they have not been displaying these accurately. Like this one is, others no special numbers for whatever reason. Yeah, start a battle of all as Imperial Trooper. He taunts for 2 turns. Let's start out. So get a pre-taunt action. While he is taunting, 50% defense and tenacity. Whenever they're damaged, deal damage equal to 50% of their defense. The attacker does true damage. Oh, so that's like a conquest Galactic Republic thing. That's bad annoying. Alright, this character might be pretty good. When I think about it. All other Imperial Trooper allies have 30% critical avoidance defense. First time they fall below 50% max health. Needs taunts, and they gain protection up. Okay, randomly with Galactic Legends. Whenever he does damage, all allies gain 10% turn meter. Whenever the taunt is dispelled, they taunt, which can't be dispelled. Sort of like a locked taunt, you can't get around them. When an ally is dazed, they dispel it, gain 25% turn meter. Whenever an ally with a protection uses an ability on their turn, call another random ally to assist. Okay. This is Grand Reno Omicron, right? Yeah, Grand Reno Omicron. Okay, alright. Yeah, there's a lot of designers here. The hat of the thief. Yeah, no Galactic Legends on either squad. Yeah, any on-turn attack, you can use the basic. Okay, let's also look at the synergies here. Looks great with the Veers lead. So, you know what? Honestly, I was just thinking, I was thinking, because I didn't have my troopers relicked forever, and I came to the conclusion, like, I had my Kyber Lightspeed token. I was like, what the hell am I going to do with these? They had them from the anniversary era. I've never used them on anything. It's like, there's a lot of things I don't have relics on. So I threw one on Piet, because he needs to be R8 for Executor anyways. Might as well get myself most of the way there. So I was looking at it, and I was like, well, I've got to have a ranged trooper, I'm gonna have Dark Trooper, Veers is the leader, you need him. But I was like, do I want to spend a token on Gideon? So like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how this character is great. How great this character is going to be at, like 3 or 4 stars, which is, what I'm going to leave him at. I don't really think I have the crystal. Look, yeah, I don't think I have the crystal capacity to keep up with anything but 4 star. So like, I could try to go for concept trooper specifically, but it has to just like farm them after it's over, I have I'm working on duels and Vader right now. Big book. Let's get back on trap. I mean, he does seem like a pretty good fifth option. You know, Range Trooper who has extra assists. Piet has the Emperor's Trap. Buffs turn meter, yada yada yada. Actually, yeah, and he feeds more turn meter in. Protection. Should have went bop bop bop. So, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how spectacular this is. It still does rely on turn meter games, and there's a lot of teams that shut down turn meter games specifically because of Imperial Troopers, really. I guess nothing's stopping you from running them. I'm like, I didn't either. Does the Trooper Commander require all Imperial Remnant? Important question. Right, here's the high Snow Trooper Commander. No, but most of the benefits you give are to Remnant, not General Empire. Okay, that's the 3v3. Omicron doesn't want Remnant. Yeah, so I don't know how great he'd be with Snow Trooper Commander. Okay, so nice. Another Empire Lifter bonus mode. Oh, there's update notes. Did I put a game today? Okay, so character number 5, Jackson. Yeah. Woo. Okay, so this is a character. Yeah, this is absolutely a character they need to explain the origins of. I guess to be fair, they kind of explained all the characters. There's like, oh, Mara Jade's from the EU or something. Although they didn't really say EU, so I'm like, eh. So yeah, so this was a character I was roughly familiar with as a verse Glupshidower. Was vaguely familiar with Jazz Jackrabbit over here. So he's an attacker, mercenary, scoundrel, smuggler. Okay. So yeah, Jackson first slept his way into Star Wars via the original run of the Marvel Comics in 1977, Star Wars issue number 8. Originally working as a mercenary for Han Solo, Jackson will eventually wind up having multiple misadventures with many of the scoundrels in the universe. Most often an unlikely ally of one, Lando Calrissian. Yeah, we've been trying to fit Jackson into Galaxy Heroes for a while now. This is a pretty stupid character, so like, yeah, I could totally see the desire. He's a super unique and fun character who stands out on the battlefield and creates amazing energy with the prepared mechanic, which makes him good with Dash Rendar and Young Lando. Okay, so buff to Dash. Let's get little blasters. He goes. I know I'm doing sound effects for everything, but to be fair, these clips are muted for some reason. Deal physical damage to target enemy twice and inflict vulnerable for 1 turn. Prepared, Jackson attacks again, and if it is his turn, all prepared allies gain 25% turn meter for each attack. So is attack instance of damage, or is attack? This is hits twice. Okay, starts everybody with prepared. Dump a bunch of turn meter, dash let squad. That's dash for critical hits. He's used many weapons over the decades with paraforty blasters, blah blah blah. Okay, so here we go. If Jackson is prepared, does he do 3 or 4 instances of damage? Does attacks again? He feels damage twice again, or 1 more instance of damage. Attacks again means he does the entire attack a second time, so 4 instances of damage. So extrapolating that logic out, it's 50% turn meter for prepared allies. Because the only other instance is 100, which means he gains a full turn every time he attacks. So he just turn meter loop the shit out of every enemy team. That doesn't feel right. So I have to assume it's 50. Okay, ooh, a little backflip action. That's a that's a backflip. Okay, deal physical damage and inflict off balance for 2 turns. If they're prepared, you stun them as well. They're very short abilities now. Okay. Off balance gives extra turn meter advantage, rewards them for hitting enemies frequently. Yeah, and as an anthropomorphic rabbit, we thought it'd be appropriate to include its ability based off his acrobatics. But yeah, sure, his powerful kick to take out the Dulak King Gornish. I'm just gonna pretend I know what that means. Was a pivotal moment in the character's history he felt was deserving to be captured with a gift. And I just sitting here going, Yeah, and they keep what off balance does here. Yeah, sort of soft exposed. Special 2, Fluffle Shuffle. They're just a little, like pew 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 pew. Deal physical damage to all enemies. The enemy leader's dark side does 20% more damage, otherwise only does 10%. Jackson is a 25% up chance to use his basic. If any Lando is an ally, the chance becomes 100%, and it can't be counter-evaded if he has prepared. Interesting, yeah. And as they say right here, playing this in combination with Dash's AoE, presumably, both of them are pretty fast, so it can just presumably atom bomb 50% of the team in the first 2 turns of battle. Seems very cool. Yeah, inspiration. As an attacker, we felt Jackson would excel by bringing an AoE to the prepared crew. I tell you, I already have one. Fluffle Shuffle gets the barrage. It's literally Lando, but you can use it with any Lando, which are, these 3. I like you're using Skiff card. Starship down. I think these these are purposeful references. I mean, obviously this is, Bugs Bunny. I have to imagine this is a reference to Watership Down, another rabbit-centric thing. Okay, so it's plus 20% crit chance, max health, and speed. Cool. If Lando is any Lando is an active ally, Jax and every version of Lando gain 50% critical chance, critical damage, max health, and all allies are immune to speed down for 1 turn. I'm assuming the stat buffs are permanent, but the way the sentence is structured does not make that very obvious. Like, I don't know. I mean, again, this is my brain as someone who's made World of Mayhem kits before, that where the words go in the sentence kind of matters. But I'd put this one at the end. Like, I'd put the speed down first and then say and Jackson in every version of Lando. But I guess that puts 2 ands right next to each other. But I don't know. I think these are the hairs you got to split for hairs. I don't know. Those are the hairs you got to split to make that work. Jackson is active. Prepared allies have 50% defense. Whenever prepared ally loses prepared, they get 10% turn meter. I don't remember how Dash Radar works, but I assume they get prepared back at the start of their turn. Whenever an ally Lando uses a special, they do a mass dispel, and all allies recover 20% max health or 20% health and protection. First time he'd be reduced to 1% health. He stealths and gains full health, so I did a little quick reset. All allies are scoundrels. Whenever Jackson scores a critical hit, he gains 20% critical damage until the next time he doesn't critically hit. So if you keep him topped up with a crit chance and all that, as he just. Okay, then. Another territory battle on the ground. It's been like territory battle, Grand Arena, Grand Arena, Grand Arena. Are they just pretending territory wars doesn't exist? I mean, hey, that's what I do, but I'm not the developers. Are they planning to rework it next era? I don't know. Are they preparing to rework it this era? Yeah. Okay, 50%. Yeah, extra max health, protection, and speed. When they lose prepared, they gain prepared. Whenever they become prepared, they gain bonus protection and defense penetration for the rest of the battle. So at each turn, at the start of each encounter, they gain prepared. If they didn't have it, take a bonus turn. And then, of course, the classic anti-revive. Yeah. Giving Jackson increased crit chance, increases turn meter, but special will damage. This is not a special, this is a unique. What are you talking about? So yeah, go against enemies. So yeah, you don't want to use them against crit immunity heavy teams. Like Kenobi is going to be shut this down right fast. Like most territory battle Omicrons, yeah, Jackson's an I win button for combat missions, which is true. Although this is like an I win button for like 2 specific teams. So not the 100% best of me investment. So this is more potent of a damage dealer when he's first in line, so we gave him some speed, as well as speed down immunity, although like which I don't know what you're gonna do. Yeah, it's as a wascally wabbit. Jackson's all about speed, and we want to see that play out of his kit, as well as extra Lando power. Hope you enjoyed our foray into the lighter side of Dark Wars with the giant green space rabbit that adored us fans for nearly as long as Star Wars existed. As we mentioned previously, getting Jackson in the game is a long-term goal of ours, which begs the question what crazy, oddball, off-the-wall character we should make next. I know precisely what character they should add Jodo Cast, baby. No doubt to the end of time. He got into Fortnite. I mean, not exactly, but you can definitely make him the custom Mando. So yeah, I'm sure for a lot of people, just like, oh, who the hell is this guy? But yeah, for an expert, well, not an expert. I have like a hobbyist interest in dumb crap. So you know, if you like me, you'll be like, oh, of course, Jackson, iconic character. All right, so let's speed things up here because I didn't realize they have update notes. All right, there's still 2 dire characters and the legendary, and that's probably gonna be like 900 billion words. Okay. The Ronin. Mine's like the Bushido droid. All right, Dark Side Attacker Sith. Okay, from the acclaimed anthology series Star Wars Visions, the Ronin walks a solitary path through the stars, a wandering warrior unbound by this Jedi's codes or the Sith's ambitions, which is why we gave him the Sith tag, because we are stupid. You just have him as an unaligned Force user. He carries a damaged lightsaber that must be sheathed when not in combat, accompanied by his loyal and resourceful droid companion R5D56. The Ronin hunts those who would abuse the Force. You know, classic Sith activity. A blade without a master, guided only by his own unshakable resolve. Like, I mean, I know they were making the Sith Jar Jar team. They're like, whoa, team building. Can't be having that. So yeah. So Darth Jar Jar is the leader. You got a dark side vision. Who's there? And Darth Maul and Darth Sidious, which I mean, hey, fine with them having a home. Okay. The Ronin is a precise and relentless Sith attacker who grows more dangerous with every turn. He dismantles resilient enemies through escalating single target strikes with his loyal droid companion R5D66. Waits in the wings summon when he's ready to provide AoE pressure, shock, and powerful siphon effects that drain critical stats from enemies and redirect them to the duo. Does he also use like a summoned unit, or how does this work? He's the summoned unit. Okay, alright. 2 characters in 1. Which means I'll be reading this kit for the rest of my life. Okay, so he's a lot faster. He gets a little like. Okay. The physical damage to the target enemy and gain offense up for 1 turn. Each time its ability used, increase the damage of oaths buried under silence by 20% until the end of battle. Against Droid Boy gains 10% max health until the end of battle. Target enemy shocked if the ally in the leader slot is a Gungan Sith. I just like this Gungan, like I like the specificity of it. It's a Gungan Sith. I really don't even need that. I mean, like, sure, regular Jar Jar is also Gungan need, but like, yeah, I'm just gonna put the Ronin in my Gungan team. This ability is guaranteed to critically hit if able. So he can, yeah, interacts with the 2 of them, blah, 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 blah. Saving this ability is your investment phase. The more you use it earlier, the scarier oaths buried under silence gets later. So resist the urge to pop the special immediately, stack a few basics. By the time you hit the special, it'll do extreme damage. And then once Droid Boy is on the field, your rotation opens up. He can use arc, jab, shock to the target, and follow the basics with a guaranteed crit. That loop is your bread and butter under Darth Jar Jar. Okay, so it's like super important. Yeah, Sheath the Negotiator was non-negotiable from the start. One detailed position tells us everything about who the Ronin is. A warrior so controlled his weapon stays put until exactly the moment it's needed. Okay, yeah. So it's just the first special. And does like a shoo. Okay. Deal physical damage to the target enemy. If they have resilient defense or taunt, this ability deals 300% more damage and inflicts armor shred until the end of the encounter, which can't be evaded or resisted. Inflict 2 stacks of bleed, so bleed's coming back until the end of the encounter. Can't be dispelled or resisted. Each time this ability is used, increases the basics damage by 100%. Interesting. Stacking max 300 until the end of battle. The Ronin siphons critical damage from the target enemy, which can't be resisted, and Droid Boy gains the same amount. Siphon crit damage. Actually, I think there's one other person to siphon. Alright, helpful. Unless I can, like. Can I filter by siphon? Does such a concept exist? No. Okay. Whatever. I don't want to siphon anyways. If I type siphon into the game filter, I think it would work. Whatever, okay. Yeah, passive bleed. I don't know, this guy seems pretty strong actually. Priority against taking enemies, since it will just absolutely obliterate them. Yeah, okay, so he only has 2 abilities. He has a whole second guy with them. Alright, Mercy Left Behind. At the start of battle, Ronin gains 10 stacks of Boiling Point, which can't be copied or dispelled. At the start of each of his turns, he dispels 1 stack. If there's an allied Gungan leader, dispel an additional 5. There's a Sith healer ally, spell 5 more. This one expires. Wait, he just got summoned the first turn if you have the whole team together. What way? What's the point of any of this then? Why do turn meter? You just kill him. I don't think they designed this character through very well. I mean, I get how they didn't want him having to take 10 whole turns to, like, come online. But I don't know. I feel like there are different ways you could have designed this. Like, you might as well have just made it 5 and then made it 2 2. You know what I mean? Like, he spells the 1, there's Jar Jar. He spells 3 if there's Yoda. He spells 5. He spells 2 more. If you wanted to do it that way. Okay, so yeah, when Bowling Point expires, Droid Boy gets summoned. He has 50% critical damage whenever a manipulated enemy starts their turn. The Ronin gains advantage. I have no idea what manipulated is. Maybe it's a Darth Jar Jar effect? Okay, wait, no, hold on. He has a Territory Wars Omicron. Okay, they remember Territory Wars as a thing. Oh my god. At the start of his turn, he gains 25% critical damage stacking for each enemy with resilient defense, stealth, or taunt until the end of his turn. So yeah, if they're like, they try to cloak him around, they try to taunt, he says, bastard, and just kills him. Actually, I guess he doesn't have an AoE. Yeah, this character is about high single target damage. Okay, whenever the Ronin or Droid Boy scores a critical hit, both gain 3 Siphon until the end of the encounter. Whenever R5 is summoned, I can't even just say R5 is shorthand because they added R5 before, so I gotta call him Droid Boy. Gains 30% defense penetration and max health until the end of battle. All Sith allies gain 100% bonus protection for 1 turn. When an enemy attacks out of turn, the Ronin gains 10% turn meter. Yeah, so Boiling Point kind of already explained what it did on Territory Wars, and there's no GL Siths, so. You know, I haven't really thought about this. This might actually be a pretty good character for. Well, I mean, I guess not really. But I guess if you wanted to, you could run C with him and Yoda. It would take 2 turns for Droid Boy to be summoned, but like, I don't know, that doesn't seem that bad. I mean, I can't do it in Territory Wars, but like, I guess. Alright, while Droid Boy is active, he gains 50% speed. While the Ronin is active, Droid Boy gets offense, 50% offense. Attacks the enemy. Whenever the Ronin attacks the enemy in the leader slot, he gains alert and speed up for 2 turns. Whenever a manipulated enemy starts their turn, Ronin and R5 gain Siphon till the end of the encounter. Allies with emergency powers gain 50% defense penetration. With bleed gains resilient defense, stealth, or taunt. They lose 10% max health stacking, and the Ronin gains 10% turn meter. Okay, excellent. Words are down here. Darth Jar Jar's manipulate effect. Thank you for answering that. Are there more than one Sith healer? I really should keep this open. I mean, you bring Talon, I guess? Is Talon a healer? No, Talon's an attacker. Okay, never mind. It's just Yoda. Oh no, again, I like my instinct is when I bring up another card for something to close it. Also, I'd have to look at Dark Yoda here. Look at this dude. Yo, did you guys check out my cool edgy Yoda? See, why is he here? Why is he on? Why is he on RJ? Why is he on Dual Zen team? Does that actually work? No way that works. That might work. Is there an all empire? No, there has to be an all empire bonus on Darth Dual Zen. Yeah, I mean, we'll get the offense stacking, but he is also a healer, so I don't know that he needs it. No, that's true, yeah. We'll get the critical damage and fear return meter reduction done. I don't know how evil of anti-synergy that is. So yeah, bring Darth Jar Jar and Yoda. I mean, they could add another Sith healer, I guess, at some point in time, but yeah, and he's on the field turn 1. That flexibility is intentional, but the Darth Jar Jar build is clearly where the kit wants to live. When they have the whole manipulated stuff and everything. Plus the Ronin's code, a warrior who once chose despair but found that mercy carries a cost. Oh, that's fun. They put a haiku in the game. Okay, so here's R5. So arc jab, which assuming is a little R2D2. Yep. There you go. Deal physical damage, target enemy, and shock them for 1 turn. The Ronin gains protection up for 1 turn. Target enemies bleed. This does 100% more damage. Alright, guided payloads. It's a little like. Yep. Deal damage to all enemies. Deal additional instance damage for each enemy with resilient defense, stealth, or taunt. Yeah, wow. Full stealth teams are going to get nuked. Like, Bad Batch V2, ugh, ought to be disgusting. They get carpet bombed off the face of the earth. Yeah, nice. Typhon's critical chance from the target enemy can't be resisted, and the Ronin gains the same amount. So yeah, they do gain both critical stats. Ronin plus 50% speed started count. But that's not stacking, so it's just plus 50 speed. And he also does bleed, which is on everybody. It can't be spell resistance if they're stealthed or taunting. Yeah, that one's the same. Best to use if the special's already used, which is true. Alright, that is unique. But yeah. So again, they share them. They gain both. Okay. He gains 25% max health protection for each Sith ally. Whenever the Ronin starts his turn, he gains a bonus turn on summon. He gains crit chance of defense penetration for 2 turns. The enemy gains bonus turn meter. He'll gain 1 stack of boil over until the end of the encounter. He gains 10% offense per stack. He reaches 10 stacks of boil over. The Ronin gets a bonus turn and spills all stacks of boil over at the start of that turn. Boil over abilities gain additional effects. What? I mean, abilities gain bonus effects. Liars? No, it doesn't. I mean, more bonus turn meter punishment, which is nice. The game is lying for no reason. So bonus turn of the Ronin Axe comes the coordinator. Yeah, so you just get a free turn. Wicked. Yeah, dude, Ronin takes like 900 turns. Like a CLS or something, or even the dash. Like it's funny how some of the teams in this era are getting countered by this. I mean, I guess you gotta do a whole lot of heavy lifting to make Sidious and Maul do stuff. So. I mean, they could rework them. I'm sold. I'll do this era. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that looks like a pretty cool character. I think he'd be a lot of fun. I'll probably get Darth Jar Jar in 9 months, and by 9 months I mean like 7 years. But you know, yeah. Dark Side leader supports Sith Gungan. The Gungan, the myth, the legend. Darth Jar Jar is a new dark side leader set to lead its team other Sith myths and legends, even though Maul and Sidious are real. Yeah, Darth Jar Jar leans into the theory that he was the Phantom Menace. I mean, this is awesome. The first robot chicken character in this game. I'm joking. Manipulating friend and foe to make them believe that he was harmless. So yeah, so getting into the backstory here. There's like presumably just as a counter reaction to how stupid Jar Jar was. There was like the secret underground people in Phantom Menace that had cooked up the theory that Jar Jar was a secret Sith Lord. And he was like, you know, his interactions with everybody was planned and calculated to look like a bumbling buffoon. But really, he's a secret Sith master. Like, there's a whole thing, like, oh, you know, whenever he gets in fights, it looks like he's just dicking about. No, calculated. The drunken master style. It was really funny. I mean, it wasn't really, like, to be clear, if this was something that happened, perhaps a better twist than I am your, like, a 10 times better twist than I am your father. Like, actual jaws would have been dropped in the theater. But alas, this is not the reality that we live in. So, unfortunately, Darth Jar Jar shows his mastery of the Force by tapping into several powerful buffs and debuffs that other Sith utilize and using his manipulation to siphon away the enemy's protection. This is a siphon-centric team. Defense siphon, critical chance siphon, critical damage siphon. They're just going on the whole thing. Of course, I mean, really, they should refence like Maul or something. You know, original Darth Maul. To like siphon offense or something, but whatever. I guess are we all operating off unique siphon? We go to SLKR. I don't remember what he siphons. He siphons mastery. I literally just said that like 20 minutes, probably more like 30, maybe 45. I don't know what this video's been going on for. Okay. I guess I'll talk about it. I'm just gonna have to cut this up. I think this is a century's worth of content. Alright, basic ability. Misa going to hard use. Alright, deal special damage. Target enemy shock them for 1 turn. During a turn, if all allies are Sith, deal additional effects that last for 1 turn. Inflict tenacity down on all enemies that don't have it. If any enemy had damage immunity, dispel it, and all Sith allies gain damage immunity. Your target enemy has 3 or more stacks of bleed, inflict death mark on them. Wow. So I'm assuming bleed is more for the Ronin, because I don't remember Yoda having any. I mean, they practically told you what team to run in the Ronin kit reveal, so. Yeah, the original Jar Jar Binks' basic ability to provide for his allies, while Darth Jar Jar uses his to punish, putting tenacity down, stealing damage to me, and inflicting death mark. As he's the more calculated version of Jar Jar, he no longer relies on chance occurrences. The utilization of Force Lightning comes from Fortnite. No, just kidding. I think he uses Force Lightning, like the Lego special. If the enemies have undispellable damage immunity, they won't get. Yeah, I mean it's kind of. I don't know how why I assume that's how that works. I just assume that's how that works. It's correct. Who's that people going to die? Okay, so deal special damage to target enemy and manipulated enemies are blinded and gain speed up for 1 turn. If there are no Galactic Legend or Sith Empire allies, target enemies become manipulated if they didn't already have it and no other enemies have it. It can't be copied, dispelled, resisted until the end of the encounter, and they stealth for 2 turns. The enemy stealths for 2 turns? Okay. Sure. Darth Jar Jar gains outmaneuver for 2 turns, removed marked from all allies. The random Sith ally gains bonus protection until the end of the encounter and is marked while they have this protection. So yeah, as I assume, you can't be running them with C. At least you won't get the manipulated under C. I mean, you might be able to run them with C anyways. So yeah, random Sith ally gains bonus protection and is marked while they have it. Once marked expired, another random Sith ally is marked and gains bonus protection until the end of the encounter or until all other Sith allies have been marked by this ability. So there's a lot of like pinging around the marked whenever you use this ability. So I guess sort of just to like disperse the damage out. Interesting. And they gain 50% bonus protection, so unless they hit like way over it, it's like fake damage. Yeah, so yeah, okay, so manipulated allies help their droid's teams, and the ally can provide a constant benefits as long as they stay active, so picking the right enemy will help the success of the team. Wait, no, wait, hold on, there's animation here. Animations! Hack frauds! Where are the animations? Whatever. Yeah, so, you know, they sort of hang around with stealth. Yeah. Related thing, but leaping ability. So they talk about an animation that doesn't exist. At least I can't see it. Since enemy manipulated, they gain stealth, but its ability is used when there's already a manipulated enemy and they do not gain stealth, they gain speed up and become blinded instead. Marked from this ability will not apply to Darth Jar Jar. Did I read that wrong? Another random Sith ally. Okay. Got it. So it's like all other Sith allies. I don't know if they did that the best, but I get it. I got special to letting the hate flow. More of like a I don't know if I really settled on the thing with the Darth Jar Jar voice. So it's kind of more like a Doofenshmirtz. Where's the Phineas and Ferb? To be fair, they're adding Darth Jar Jar Jackson. It's not like 100% out of the realm of possibility. It is official Star Wars media. If you think about it. I think there'd be a number of people that think that would be too stupid. But yeah, like, you know, there might be even people that think it's chill. Cause yeah, I think you have 6 characters, right? You have like Phineas, you have Darth Ferb, Darth and Schmertz, Perry, Isabella was there, Stormtrooper Candace. I'm not keeping count. I think that's 5. Also, Buford and LG for 3v3. I'm thinking too hard. Okay. Deal special damage to all enemies. Inflict them with plasma residue for 2 turns. If there's a shield generator, it takes 15 additional instances of damage. Yeah, so this is just the anti-Jar Jar button. Sith allies gain defense up and foresight for 2 turns. Darth Jar Jar siphons max protection from all non-manipulated allies, which can't be resisted or manipulate enemies. Then all Sith allies gain that amount till the full team siphon spread. Whoa. I mean, I guess Yoda kind of does the same thing, but then this team's going to be bulky. Unless you can nuke them out fast. Yeah. And Grand Arena Omicron, that's how you know this is the legendary character. There's like 5 Omicrons in them. Again, it doesn't say. I'm assuming there's also a Zeta here, but like you don't say. Yeah. Oh, and plasma residue. What's plasma residue again? Probably doesn't even say what plasma residue does. This guy sucks. Nope. It literally does not say what plasma residue does. Oh my god, bruh. Does regular Gungans have it? I don't know. I've closed this so many times. Is there any regular Jar Jar comes out? Okay, that's positive. Lose 100% evasion comes. Character becomes inflicted with a shock. Deal reduce massive damage. Okay. Gotcha. So it was in fact a pre-existing debuff, but it's still not particularly helpful. Okay, so Grand Arena Omicron, no GL allies, sorry C, you got the picture. Sith allies gain 5% stack per siphon stack on Darth Jar Jar until the end of the counter, so another big ass buff they get. Deflect all enemies with healing immunity for 1 turn. Can't be resisted. Enemies without protection can't resist plasma residue, and whatever that is expired, it is reapplied at the end of the turn if Darth Jar Jar is active. Ouch. If an enemy has bleed, inflict a stack of bleed on all enemies that don't have it until the end of the encounter. So it's sort of like you pop this after Ronin does his spiel. Yeah. Ooh. Pretty effective. I mean, I guess it's 1 stack of bleed, but I mean, it's. Well, I guess this one's cleansable, but yeah, the Ronin's isn't. Siphon takes from all enemies except the manipulated one because, they want to stick around longer. So the original Jar Jar being fails to be able to control those Boomas. He falls over and tries to launch at the enemies. Darth Jar Jar is able to use the Force to blow up his enemies that we can't see because they didn't put the effects in. The damage to shield generators include. Okay, so you really don't want to run him with Gungans. You know what? That's some good thinking. You can counter Gungans on both sides of the battle. Okay, unique. The Phantom Menace. At the start of battle, Darth Jar Jar gains hatred. For the rest of the battle, you can't be caught with spell prevent, yada yada yada. If an enemy takes damage from bleed, Darth Jar Jar gains frenzy for 2 turns. Darth Jar Jar gains a bonus turn after the first turn taken by the enemy in the leader slot. Whenever a manipulated enemy starts their turn, they take 50% max health damage. If you can't defeat them, then equalize their health and protection with the strongest enemy, and Darth Jar Jar gains a bonus turn. Okay, I see. I can see why you want the manipulated guys taken around. They deal 25% max health damage indiscriminately. Okay. Whenever Darth Jar Jar uses any ability, I don't know why it says every ability, ally Darth Sidious gains emergency powers, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented if he didn't already have it for 2 turns. Once this effect is expired, Darth Jar Jar must use it again. Oh, surprising. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. I can see why they said every ability. He has to use basic, special 1, special 2. Got it. Once this effect is expired, he must rotate through them all again for Darth Sidious to get it. Okay. Reading's hard, guys. They say a lot of words. Sometimes you don't know what the words mean. Well, in green arenas and there's no Galactic Legend allies, all Sith allies gain hatred. So full turn hatred. Can't be copied with the spell or prevented for this battle. Yeah, so they share his hatred. Whenever a Sith ally's ability blocked, they gain massively overpowered for 1 turn. I don't remember what that does. No clue. Yeah, I tried looking. Yes. Yeah, look at the ability class. But yeah, sound kind of that's gonna be there. Oh, right. We'll worry about it a different here. I know. Hold on. Okay, it's a dated disc. Okay. Right, they also deal massive damage. Okay, thank you. This game and explaining what effects do. There really ought to be like a you something you could just click on it and hover it and it'll pop up the effect. Didn't the stupid Lord of the Rings game have that? I'm fairly certain it did. I don't know why they're so against porting things. Okay, so emergency powers plus 200% defense, offense, 100% counter chance, plus 100% speed. At the start of this unit's turn, all allies would cover 100% health and protection. Beautiful. At least Darth Sidious does something in this game. Okay, so they explained it better down here. Uses each ability at least once before emergency powers gets granted. Then once the effect's expired, he must do it again. However, what I thought you could do, which apparently you cannot do, any abilities used while Darth Sidious has emergency powers won't count. So probably wait to use the specials until he has emergency power, or until he doesn't have emergency powers. At least he gets sort of some of the juice of the fabled Sidious Prawn. I remember that gave him a lot of defense and offense, as well as max counter chance. Although you couldn't. It's sort of that, 1 damage per turn effect. Like, you couldn't assist off him type beat. Yes, this is a reference to the whole emergency powers thing, which was another factor in the theory that the emergency powers to Sidious sort of like what let the rest of the movies happen, and that's why he's the Phantom Menace. He knew it. No. So later ability, the force shall be free in Misa. Whenever Darth Jar Jar's ability block dazed or stunned, the enemy is inflicted the same debuff. Sith allies are immune to investigation. Oh, no. Wait, aren't Sith allies already immune to investigation? Ain't no way. Hold on. No. Oh, I forgot how investigation works. Oh, sorry. Galactic Legends Sith enemies can be revealed. What a difference. This character's already useless. I mean, this character's kind of a little useless in general, but he's especially useless on. What? Yeah, sure, man. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's good. Yeah. It's a investigation, sure. The start of each encounter, Darth Jar Jar remarks himself, which can't be dispelled until he receives damage. Okay, and that's to cue the one ability. I think. Unless I'm not understanding how special one works. Nope, that's just when that marks expires. So, okay, he just takes the first hit for no reason. Let's start at each enemy's first turn. A random Sith ally gains a bonus turn if they haven't taken a turn yet. So we can't outpace the Jar Man. Sith allies are immune to cooldown manipulation until they use a special ability. Darth Jar Jar knows taunt effects on his first turn. Very strange paragraph abilities. Okay, whenever a manipulated enemy falls below 100% health, Sith allies gain a stack of Dark Infusion. Dark Infusion. Now, I remember who has Dark Infusion, luckily. Get the hell out of here, Mace Windu. Oh, where is he? Come on out, buddy. There's Malik. Mind. So, yeah, Dark Infusion. It's offense per sex and max sex. These bonuses are doubled and basic attacks also put healing rate. Okay, right. Let's say, like, I swear this man gets 2 sets of status effects, but maybe I'm a liar. Okay. So they get Malik powers. They get to go. Well, they don't actually get Malik powers. He does 100% max health damage. Still, it's a lot of offense. It's a very good amount of offense. Which can be dispelled or prevented until the end of battle. When a manipulated ally gains a buff, Darth Jar Jar gains 3 Siphon. When a manipulated ally is inflicted with a debuff, the weakest other enemy is feared. Oh, sorry, but then when they gain a buff, he gains Siphon in return. Whenever they're inflicted with a debuff, the weakest other enemy is feared for 1 turn if they don't already have it. Unless the ally is marked, Darth Maul gains 100% counter chance and defense and deals 10% true bonus damage based off his max health. Interesting. Max health marking for Darth Maul. Sure, I guess. Okay, and then while in Grand Arenas, the Jar Jar effect gets put to the whole team. While Sith allies are stunned, damaged, they deal 100% of the damage received as true damage. Yikes. Okay. If a Sith ally is feared, at the end of the turn, they deal 1 true damage to themselves, which of course is to remove the fear, because you lose fear when you take damage. I think, does this explain what fear does? Nope. You gotta look at Revan. So yeah, manipulated enemies hurt themselves and then equalize. If this knocks us below, they get dark fusion. Yeah, exactly. If they gain a full health and then lose health again. Okay, I guess I thought about it a little incorrectly, because when I looked back at what manipulated did, or the hell ability that was. And that's the problem with all these words in these kits. Right, okay, right here. Unique one. Okay, I guess to be fair, 50% max health damage could start with, like, that does probably start with protection. I thought it hits under protection for whatever reason. Never mind. It's about like, surely this should just trigger on every turn that they take, but no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Being precise with the team's damage to keep the manipulated enemy around a little longer. Very nice. Although, in theory, I guess it's health and protection. I was about to say, like, in theory, I mean, with health equalization, when they could take themselves under 100%, which would probably work. It might happen every turn anyways. I don't know. Manipulated enemies also help Kevin benefits in the form of Siphon and Fear when they are debuffed. This would include the blind and speed gain. That does do both. Very smart. Okay, so closing thoughts. One of my favorite Star Wars series, the idea is he has been secret Sith mastermind. Attention to detail can only replace the film experience. Yada yada yada. Design knows Darth Jar Jar. He is a unique addition in the game, yeah. Commander Cody Knight. Commander do what with Commander Cody? I mean, they could give him a team, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna read the update. Remaining GL requirements should be listed with question marks. Could you read the whole GL requirements? Bro. Okay, KX and KX is accelerated, but like, who cares about accelerated characters? Lightspeed tokens exist. But at the same time, I guess they're waiting. I guess once the new era starts next week, is when persist to oh yeah, yeah, please fix that projection. God. It's an issue. The first upgrade is basic for an unnecessary level requirement. Cool. Yeah, no, make the Tomb Guardians harder. No, that sounds fine. That sounds cool. All right. Well, yeah. Jesus, 2 hours. I might have to split this in half. All right. That is the entire Era of Myths and Legends kit reveals. I'm trying to put 7 kit reveals in one video. Maybe an adventurous idea. But that's the end of that. I'm the Mobile Rager. Force be with you, I guess. I don't know. I need to think of an outro. Maybe I'll just keep the spirit alive and say that's all, folks, anyways. All right. Bye-bye.